Hello, my name is Ryan, and today I want to talk about a little part of speech known as the onomatopoeia. Geez, that word is a mouthful. You see, onomatopoeia is a long word, and it's kind of hard to say, and don't even begin to ask me how to spell it because I could not tell you. But the idea behind an onomatopoeia is actually relatively simple. So, what is this mysterious onomatopoeia I keep referencing, you might ask? Well, excuse me for 1 second, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry I had to sneeze. Now, where was I? Oh yes, the onomatopoeia. Well, coincidentally enough, that sneeze is actually the perfect example of an onomatopoeia. You see, the word achoo that I used when I sneezed is actually an onomatopoeia itself because, you see, an onomatopoeia is any word that functions as a sound in a sentence, or it's used to describe a sound, the noise that is made. That is... Okay, let's go for another example. Say somebody walks in this room right now, comes up behind me, and they slap me. You heard it. When you slap somebody, or when you are slapped, there is an audible sound, there's a noise associated with that slap. Now, if you were writing, how would you describe it? If you saw somebody being slapped, or if you were slapped yourself, and you wanted to record that situation on paper, you would need a word, probably, to describe the sound that you were hearing. There are many options that you could use. You might use smack, or just the word slap itself. Both of those words, amongst others, are perfect examples of onomatopoeias because, as I said before, an onomatopoeia is just any word that functions as a sound within a sentence. I hope I'm not repeating myself. I just want to make it clear. Let's go for one more example. Okay, so you have a gun. Let's pretend that this is a gun. And you're at a shooting range. You line up your target and bang! Pow! Bang! Bang! Pow! Any of these words can also function as onomatopoeias in sentences. You probably know more onomatopoeias than you might think. Onomatopoeia isn't a word that you hear every day, and you don't go around saying it to your friends, but I'm sure you've read onomatopoeias countless times in literature and in comic books. If you've ever read comic books before, you'll know that they are riddled with onomatopoeias. Probably you'll most commonly see these in comic books because there's action scenes, fighting scenes. Comic books are very action-based and actions with noises. And the authors, the artists, they want you to see and hear through their writing and through their images what is going on. And I actually have with me here a Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four comic book. And if I open up actually to one of the first couple of pages, there are several onomatopoeias right here, and I'm just going to show you a couple of them. In this first panel here, you see Spider-Man dropping down amongst these men, very unsuspecting, and you can see it up here. So they're surprised, they're shocked, and it's a vocal. They make the vocal noise. They're scared. Back to the slapping thing. If somebody walked up in here and slap, well, I might react with I wouldn't expect it. Just as these men were not expecting Spider-Man to drop from the sky on whatever they're doing here. In this next panel, you see Spider-Man grabs the heads of these two gentlemen and he smacks them together. And up here, it's kind of hard to see. We see the word conk. K-O-N-K. Conk. And this word is trying to represent the sound that would be made if you grabbed two people's heads and smashed them together. I'm sure you've done it before. You bent over and your friend bent over at the same time. You conked each other's heads. Conk is just another great example of an onomatopoeia at work. And then finally, in this last panel down here, you see that Spider-Man is shooting his famous webs from his fingertips, and you have the words thwip, T-H-W-I-P, thwip. And thwip is just another example. Just almost any word can function as an onomatopoeia as long as it represents a sound. Flip, bang, pow, boom, zing, zam. Almost anything you can think of, as long as it represents some sort of sound, is an onomatopoeia. You see, it's an easy concept to grasp. It's not a hard one, and it's pretty fun. I challenge you to pick up a comic book, look through, try to figure out how many onomatopoeias you can just see just from one page, 2 pages, the whole thing. There's countless ones, I guarantee it. Okay, well, I think that about wraps up this lesson. So thank you for your time, and this has been Ryan on Onomatopoeias. Have a great day.